If you've been tuning into the Erie County COVID-19 press briefings in the last year, you've seen familiar faces like County Executive Mark Poloncarz and Health Commissioner Dr. Gail Burstein. But they're not the only ones we've grown accustomed to.
I was the very first interpreter for the very first opening press conference back in March of last year.
Throughout the pandemic, American Sign Language interpreters from Deaf Access Services like Kendra Schmidt have been hard at work interpreting the briefings for those who are deaf or hard of hearing.
English is not a deaf person's first language. So a lot of people think that captioning and subtitles is good enough. It's not good enough. ASL has completely different grammar. There's words in English that don't have signs. There's signs that don't have English words, so they're not equivalent. It's just better to have it in their first language as ASL so they can completely understand, because they deserve to understand just as everybody else does.
Kendra's interpreted for students, the mayor's State of the City speech, and at the Erie County Fair. But this assignment, her most unique.
In the beginning, I was like super anxious. I feel like I was going to pass out during them because there was so many people in the room, so many cameras, and like people watch you when you're interpreting, and so I try not to look at the people out there because I'll feel like super lightheaded. It's gotten better, and I try to just fake it till I make it and like look really good, even though I know every time I interpret for one of my deaf clients, I saw you on TV, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
Evie Salvato-Rude of West Seneca has seen Kendra a lot on TV since last March. She tells us the press conferences have kept her informed, and the interpreters make all the difference. We've seen Kendra and other deaf access interpreters at these press briefings over the past year. Just in your opinion, why is it important that they're there?
I don't want us to be the last people to know. It's just not right. Having a live interpreter to explain everything that's going on, it's wonderful, because I can know what's going on and I can get in contact with other people. And I can tell them, hey, did you hear that this is going on? Did you see?
Salvato-Rude recalls a bad snowstorm one October where she felt left out because she was deaf.
Power went out. It was 3 days. There was no way to communicate with anyone, but the people around me could already listen through the radio. I'm deaf. I was clueless. Firemen, the police, they were providing food. I was deaf. So the deaf and the hard of hearing had no idea.
That's why Frank Camerata, the executive director of Erie County's Office for People with Disabilities, says Deaf Access Services matters so much. It helps uphold the Americans with Disabilities Act, which ensures communication with people with disabilities is equally effective as communication with people who don't have disabilities.
Really, it's not just these press briefings, but there are situations in which, let's say, Department of Social Services, Department of Senior Services, our Erie County Sheriff's Department, many of our county departments are utilizing the services of Deaf Access Services to be able to provide that equal access, equal opportunity.
Evie says it'd be nice if she can turn on the TV at any point of the day and see an interpreter signing what's on the air. Until that happens, she thinks we can all play a role in helping the deaf community.
Why don't you guys go to DOS and learn some sign language? Suppose you meet a deaf person. You could sign a little bit with them. That would be nice.
I'm open to it. I'm open to it. Brandon Lewis, Spectrum News.